The next article I wanted to talk about is titled A 7-Point Plan to Reinstate Donald Trump as President in Days, Not Years, was handed out at CPAC. I don't know if you guys know what CPAC is. I think it stands for the Conservative Political Action Conference. And it's a yearly conference, I think, that every conservative desires to go to and to watch. It's a big deal. It's kind of like the Democratic National Convention, I think, where everybody gets together and they all talk about politics and all that stuff and the things that they want to push for and stuff. So CPAC is actually a very big deal. And I guess Donald Trump, according to the article, released a 7-point plan to get reinstated in days, not years. So let's give this article a read and see what it says. It was written by Alia Shoaib, I believe. Today, in fact. July 11th is when this was written, I believe. Let's read it and see what it says. A plan to reinstate Donald Trump as president circulated at the Conservative Political Action Conference. The outlandish plan involves ousting House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and replacing her with Trump. The conspiracy theory that Trump will be reinstated as president is popular among his supporters. Attendees of the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, in Dallas have been handed cards outlining a 7-point plan to reinstate Donald Trump as president in days, not years. Forbes reporter Andrew Solander posted an image of the card on Twitter. CPAC attendee, this is a quote from Andrew Solander on Twitter. CPAC attendee sent me this pic of a card they were handed about a 7-point plan to restore Donald J. Trump in days, not years, which involves installing Trump as speaker and ousting Biden and Harris. Number 1, reveal Achilles' heel. Pull back the curtain on the horror show that is today's Democrat Party. Watch Pelosi melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. This was obviously written by Trump. He's so obsessed with using certain verbiage like that. Drives me nuts. See the Black Caucus and other key groups flip unexpectedly and watch the tables turn. That's never going to happen. That's just straight up ridiculous. That's not going to happen. Point number 2, witness a trusted conservative elected as Speaker of the House, and finally, reveal suppressed results of existing investigations into election racketeering. Okay, I'm not really sure. So basically, the whole idea here I'm picking up is they want to get Nancy Pelosi out as Speaker of the House. Let's keep reading. Number 3, correct the official record. Reveal that Trump legitimately won the 2020 election. Number 4, the Speaker of the House drafts articles of impeachment for Biden-Harris. Number 5, citizen Donald J. Trump is placed into the line of presidential succession behind the vice president by electing him Speaker of the House. Oh, okay, that's the plan. So the idea is Trump is elected as Speaker of the House, which, legally speaking, doesn't have to be a member of the House of Representatives. It can be anybody, apparently, according to the laws. And then impeach Biden and Harris, and now Donald Trump is in the line of succession. This is ridiculous. My God, this is crazy. Let's keep reading. Number 5. Citizen Donald J. Trump is placed into the line of presidential succession behind the vice president by electing him Speaker of the House. Number 6, Speaker of the House Donald J. Trump then calls for a vote to impeach, charge, and remove imposters, Biden and Harris. Imposters. And finally, number 7, duly impeach, charge, and remove Biden and Harris, whereby rendering all acts of said imposters while in office null and void and of no effect. Then, duly elected Donald J. Trump resumes his rightful place as U.S. president. 0 chance of this happening. 0. It's lower than 0. You know why? If this plan went through all the way up to point number 7, Trump still wouldn't get office because because point number 7 is convict, impeach, and then convict and remove Biden and Harris, I guess. Although they would have to impeach both Biden and Harris and get votes for both. And getting the votes, currently I think it's a supermajority, which requires 66 yes votes to convict, right? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. I believe they need 66, or I believe they need 67 actually. 67 votes to actually convict, and they don't have it. It's a 50-50 split right now, with Kamala as the tie-breaking vote for normal law-related things. There's absolutely no chance of this happening. No chance of it even getting to 7. But at 7, it would stop dead in its tracks, period. Basically, the plan reads to me, number 1, demonize the Democrats. Number 2, get somebody in the House to reveal suppressed results of the investigations into the election. Number 3, announce that Trump legitimately won the election. I don't know what number 2 or 3 have to do with anything. Number 4, draft impeachment against Biden and Harris, which it wouldn't pass anyways. The House is controlled by Democrats right now. I guess after the next election, I could see them impeaching just out of spite. But again, they need a lot of votes to actually remove Biden from office. It's just not going to happen. Number 5 is make Donald Trump the Speaker of the House. Get all of the Republicans to vote him in as Speaker of the House, which I guess is a possibility. I think it's something he's been knocking around in his head since he had a conversation about it with, I believe, Sean Hannity. Number 6 is Trump votes to impeach. And then number 7 is they're impeached. That's basically the 7-point plan. I don't even know why they put it in 7 points, honestly. Like, they could have said that in, 3 or 4. Demonize the Democrats, take control of the House, vote Trump in as Speaker, then Trump writes up articles of impeachment. That's basically their 7-point plan. Let's keep reading the article. The cards seem to have been made by a group called Patriot Soar, which is not affiliated with the event organizers. The outlandish plan involves ousting House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and eventually installing Donald Trump in her place. Donald Trump, as Speaker, would then call for a vote to impeach, charge, and remove imposters, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. As the Speaker of the House is third in line of presidential succession, Trump would then take up the presidency again in this highly improbable scenario. Yeah, it's extremely unlikely, this whole thing. It's kind of an embarrassment that they would even put this on paper and pass it around at CPAC, really. The plan hinges on Republicans regaining control of the House, which they plan to do by pulling back the curtain on the horror show of the Democrat Party, quote-unquote, causing groups such as the Black Caucus to flip sides. Never gonna happen. The card links to a website that elaborates on the madcap scheme to reinstate Trump and claims to have proof connecting the Democrat Party to satanic sacrifices. Oh my God, really? Are they really laying into the satanic sacrifices angle? That's a QAnon belief. Look, if anybody would know, the Democrats were sacrificing kids to Satan, it'd be me. I'm on Satan's payroll, right? Dude pays me to talk about Christianity. Like, I'm the guy. I would know, right? It's not happening. They are just completely off the deep end in La La Land right now. Let's keep reading. The messaging alludes to popular QAnon-affiliated conspiracy theories that accuse the Democrats of secret satanic abuse. A recent study found that around a quarter of Republicans believe that Satan-worshiping control the U.S. government. The conspiracy theory that Trump will soon be reinstated as president has been popularized by prominent supporters, including MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell and lawyer Sidney Powell. Big surprise. And yeah, I believe that Sean Hannity had a conversation with Trump about becoming Speaker of the House, and Trump was not really sure about it. I remember him mulling it around. I listened to the whole interview. The card also refers to the widely debunked conspiracy theory that the 2020 election was fraudulent, which has been rejected dozens of times in court. Insider has previously reported that there is no legal path for Trump to be reinstated. I guess that this is technically a legal path in the strictest sense, but it's delusional to believe that any of this is going to play out this way, really. You can't possibly believe that this is actually going to happen. At some point, they're going to have to give up on it and accept that they lost, right? When are they going to realize this and just accept it? Probably never, because Trump won't ever just accept it. The only solace I can take in the situation is the fact that Trump is getting up there in years right now, and at some point in time in the near future, he's going to be a little too old to be involved in politics. Really, he's going to be more concerned with other things. Like, at 96 years old, you can't possibly be worried about running for president anymore, right? Just live out your golden years and play golf. Seriously. It's getting to that point quickly for Trump. Not yet, but we're moving in that direction. Romulus Detroit's Angry Orange's rhetoric sounds strangely like a supplemental advert, one that you might find for an adult website. Also, glad to hear from you. Keep doing what you do, man. I appreciate it. Angry Orange's rhetoric. Interesting. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's like people have picked up on his speech patterns. This may not have been written by him directly, but they're using his speech patterns. Seriously. Reveal Achilles' heel. Pull back the curtain on the horror show that is today's Democrat Party. Watch Pelosi melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. That's straight up Trump rhetoric. That's the kind of shit that I expect to hear from him. Damn, there was so much other stuff I wanted to talk about too. Like this Facebook warning. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Facebook wants to know if you're concerned that someone you know is becoming an extremist so that you can take action now. Facebook's been basically posting this message to people who've been exposed to extremist propaganda. Are you concerned that someone you know is becoming an extremist? We care about preventing extremists on Facebook. Others in your situation have received confidential support. Hear stories and get advice from people who've escaped violent extremist groups. Get support. I think that's really cool. I like that a lot. But people aren't happy about it. Hey, has anyone had this message pop up on their Facebook? My friend, who is not an ideologue but hosts lots of competing chatter, got this message twice. He's very disturbed. He should be disturbed. If he's getting this message, it means he's interacted with extremist material. You should be disturbed too. You should be talking to the guy. Something's going on here. I've been getting it all day. Literally just happened to me. That popped up on my Facebook after I commented on several conservative posts. Yes, I saw that about a week ago on my Facebook feed. It was just a wow moment. People don't even realize when they're being exposed to extremist content. Facebook has to give them a fucking notice to let them know. This is sad. This is a sad, disturbing situation we're in, that this is even necessary. But I'm honestly glad they're putting it up there. And I heard that Twitter is putting those messages up too. Not 100% sure on that. I hope they are. Like, where the fuck is the United States right now? This is insane. We'd really like to know how Facebook is deciding who might know potential extremism, and we'd definitely like to know how Facebook defines extremism, given their interesting definition of fact-checking. People really don't like this whole fact-checking thing, do they? This is sad. I really wanted to cover this article, too. Maybe I'll cover it on another day.